breaking immigration news that could dramatically accelerate your path to the United States. Visa processing times are finally speeding up across multiple categories, and if you're currently waiting for a visa or planning to apply, what I'm about to reveal could cut months or even years off your timeline. After enduring some of the longest processing delays in immigration history, applicants across numerous visa categories are finally seeing meaningful movement. But here's what you absolutely need to understand. Not everyone benefits equally from these improvements. Some visa categories are experiencing dramatic acceleration, while others remain frustratingly slow. Whether you're applying for a family-based visa, employment sponsorship, student visa, or any other immigration benefit, the next several minutes will tell you exactly where you stand, what's changed, and how to position yourself to benefit from these faster processing times. This isn't speculation or rumor. These are verified improvements happening right now that could transform your immigration timeline. Welcome back to my channel, where I bring you the most accurate, timely, and actionable immigration news that directly impacts your journey to the United States. Today we're examining a development that millions of people have been desperately waiting for: significant improvements in visa processing speeds across multiple categories. After years of devastating backlogs, system failures, and processing times that stretched families' patience to the breaking point, we're finally seeing measurable progress that's reuniting families faster, bringing skilled workers to American companies more quickly, and allowing students to begin their educational journeys without endless delays. Before we dive into the specific visa categories that are benefiting most, which ones are still experiencing delays, and what practical steps you can take to maximize your chances of faster processing, I need you to do 3 important things. First, subscribe to this channel immediately and turn on notification alerts so you never miss critical immigration updates that could affect your timeline. Second, hit that like button right now to help this information reach more people who are navigating the complex immigration system. And third, share this video with anyone you know who's waiting for a US visa or planning to apply, because understanding these processing improvements could save them months of unnecessary waiting. In the comments below, let me know which visa category you're applying for or waiting on, and whether you've personally noticed any improvements in processing times. Your real-world experiences help everyone in this community understand what's actually happening beyond official statistics. Now let's examine exactly what's changed, why processing is accelerating, which categories are seeing the most dramatic improvements, and most importantly, how you can take advantage of these faster timelines to achieve your immigration goals. To fully appreciate why these improvements matter so profoundly, we need to understand the processing time crisis that's plagued the US immigration system for the past several years. At the peak of the backlog crisis, some visa categories were experiencing processing times that exceeded 2 years just for initial petition approval, not even counting the additional time needed for consular processing and visa issuance. Families were being separated for years beyond what the law intended. Skilled workers were losing job opportunities because companies couldn't wait indefinitely for work authorization. Students were missing entire academic years because their visas weren't processed in time for the start of the semester. The causes of these delays were multifaceted and complex. The COVID-19 pandemic forced the closure of consulates and USCIS offices for extended periods, creating a massive backlog that took years to address. Staffing shortages at both USCIS and State Department consular sections meant fewer officers available to adjudicate applications. Outdated technology systems that relied on paper processing instead of digital workflows created inefficiencies. Enhanced security vetting procedures that were implemented without corresponding increases in resources. And surges in application volumes as pent-up demand was released when offices reopened. So what's actually changed to produce these improvements in processing speeds? Several critical factors have converged to create meaningful progress. First, significant technological modernization at USCIS. The agency has finally completed the rollout of digital filing systems for most major application types, eliminating the delays associated with physical mail, paper shuffling, and manual data entry. Officers can now access cases electronically, share workloads more efficiently, and process applications without waiting for physical files to be transferred between offices. Second, substantial staffing increases across the immigration system. USCIS has hired hundreds of additional immigration services officers specifically dedicated to adjudicating pending applications. The State Department has increased staffing at consular sections worldwide, particularly at high-volume posts that were experiencing the worst backlogs. Third, process improvements and efficiency measures. USCIS has implemented triage systems that prioritize certain case types for faster processing. They've reduced the frequency of unnecessary requests for evidence by providing clearer initial filing instructions, and they've streamlined internal review procedures to eliminate redundant approval steps. Fourth, the allocation of additional funding specifically for backlog reduction. Congress appropriated supplemental funding in the most recent budget specifically designated for reducing processing backlogs and improving customer service. And fifth, increased accountability and transparency. USCIS now publishes detailed processing time data broken down by form type, service center, and field office, allowing public scrutiny and creating pressure to meet stated goals. Let's start with family-based immigration, where some of the most dramatic improvements are occurring. For immediate relatives of U.S. citizens, which includes spouses, parents, and unmarried children under 21, Form I-130 petition processing times have decreased from an average of 18 to 24 months down to approximately 8 to 12 months at most service centers. This represents nearly a 50% reduction in processing time. For family preference categories, which include unmarried adult children of citizens, spouses and children of green card holders, married children of citizens, and siblings of citizens, I-130 processing has similarly improved to 10 to 14 months on average. The improvement extends beyond just petition approval. Consular processing times for approved family-based immigrant visa cases have also accelerated significantly. Interview wait times at many U.S. consulates have decreased from 12 to 18 months down to 4 to 8 months, depending on the specific consulate. Administrative processing times for cases requiring additional security checks have been reduced through better interagency coordination. And visa issuance after interview approval is now typically occurring within 2 to 4 weeks compared to previous delays of several months. Who benefits most in family-based immigration? Immediate relatives of U.S. citizens are seeing the fastest processing overall. Family preference categories are experiencing meaningful improvements but still face the fundamental challenge of annual visa quota limitations. Countries with historically long wait times like India, China, Philippines, and Mexico are seeing particular benefit as visa numbers are being allocated more efficiently. Employment-based immigration is experiencing more selective improvements depending on the specific category and priority level. For H-1B specialty occupation workers, initial petition processing has improved substantially, with regular processing now averaging 2 to 4 months compared to previous timelines of 6 to 9 months. Premium processing, which guarantees 15-day processing for an additional fee, continues to be available and is being met consistently. For employment-based green cards, the improvements vary significantly by preference category. EB-1 priority workers, which includes persons of extraordinary ability, outstanding professors and researchers, and multinational executives, are experiencing processing times of 6 to 10 months for the I-140 immigrant petition. EB-2 advanced degree professionals are seeing 8 to 14 months for I-140 processing. EB-3 skilled workers are experiencing 10 to 16 months. EB-5 immigrant investors are still facing longer timelines of 18 to 30 months due to the complexity of these cases. The labor certification process, which is the first step for most employment-based green cards, has also seen improvements. Perm labor certification processing by the Department of Labor has decreased from 8 to 12 months down to approximately 5 to 8 months for most cases. Who benefits most in employment-based immigration? Workers in STEM fields, healthcare professionals, and other shortage occupations are being prioritized. Workers from countries without significant backlogs in visa availability are seeing the greatest practical benefit, and companies utilizing premium processing are able to bring critical employees on board much more quickly. Student and exchange visitor programs have experienced some of the most consistent improvements across the board. F1 student visa processing at US consulates worldwide has become significantly more efficient, with most students now receiving interview appointments within 2 to 6 weeks of applying, and visa decisions being issued within 1 to 2 weeks after the interview. J1 exchange visitor visas are experiencing similar timelines. M1 vocational student visas, though less common, are also processing more quickly. The improvements in student visa processing are particularly important because they're time-sensitive. Students need their visas approved in time to begin their academic programs, and delays of even a few weeks can mean missing an entire semester. The State Department has made student visas a priority, implementing dedicated student visa processing windows during peak summer months and adding staff at consulates in countries that send large numbers of students to the United States. Who benefits most in student visa categories? Students from countries with historically high approval rates are seeing the fastest processing. Students applying well in advance of their program's start dates have the most flexibility, and students attending institutions that are certified for expedited processing under certain programs may receive even faster service. B1 business visitor and B2 tourist visa processing times vary dramatically by country and consulate. Some consulates in Europe and Asia are scheduling interviews within 2 to 4 weeks and issuing visas within days. Other consulates, particularly in countries with high demand and limited consular staffing, still have wait times of 6 to 12 months for interview appointments. The variation is so significant that applicants need to check the specific wait time for their local consulate. Now let's discuss practical steps you can take to maximize your chances of benefiting from these faster processing times. First, file complete and accurate applications. The single biggest cause of delays is incomplete applications or applications with errors that trigger requests for evidence. Use the most current version of all forms. Follow instructions precisely. Provide all required supporting documentation upfront. Include clear, legible copies of all documents. Second, choose your filing location strategically if you have options. Different USCIS service centers have different processing times for the same form type. If you're eligible to file at multiple locations, research which center has the fastest current processing times. For consular processing, if you're eligible to apply at multiple consulates, check wait times and consider traveling to a location with faster processing. Third, monitor your case status actively. Create an online account to track your case. Sign up for automatic email or text notifications. Check processing times regularly to see if your case is outside normal processing times. If your case exceeds posted processing times, you may be eligible to submit an inquiry. Fourth, respond immediately to any requests. If you receive a request for evidence, respond well before the deadline with complete, organized documentation. If you're scheduled for an interview, attend on time with all required documents. Missing deadlines or appointments can add months to your processing time. Fifth, consider premium processing when available. For certain employment-based petitions, premium processing guarantees 15-day processing for an additional fee. If timing is critical and premium processing is available for your case type, it may be worth the additional cost. It's important to understand that processing times can vary significantly even within the same category. The specific USCIS service center or field office handling your case makes a substantial difference. The particular consulate where you apply for your visa can affect timelines by many months. The complexity of your individual case, including factors that might trigger additional review, the time of year you apply, as some periods see higher application volumes, and your country of citizenship, as some countries require additional security clearances. While these improvements are genuinely encouraging and represent real progress, we must maintain realistic expectations. The immigration system still faces significant challenges. Backlogs, while reduced, haven't been eliminated. Certain visa categories and certain countries still face extremely long wait times. Technology improvements, while helpful, are still incomplete. And political and policy changes can affect processing priorities and timelines. Let's summarize what we've covered today. Visa. Processing times are improving across multiple categories for the first time in years, driven by technology modernization, increased staffing, process improvements, and additional funding. Family-based immigration is seeing dramatic improvements, with I-130 processing times cut nearly in half. Employment-based categories show selective improvements, with H-1B and higher preference employment green cards processing faster. Student visas are experiencing consistent improvements, with most students receiving decisions within weeks. And visitor visas show significant regional variation, with some consulates processing very quickly, while others still have substantial backlogs. Who benefits most from these improvements? Applicants who file complete, accurate applications. Those in visa categories that aren't subject to annual quota limitations. Applicants from countries without severe backlogs, people who can utilize premium processing when available, and those who actively monitor their cases and respond quickly to any requests. If this video helped you understand the current state of visa processing and how to position yourself for faster approval, please hit that like button right now. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, because I'll continue bringing you updates as processing times evolve and new improvements are announced. Share this video with anyone navigating the US immigration system, because this information could dramatically shorten their timeline. Drop a comment below, letting me know which visa category you're waiting for and whether you've noticed improvements in your processing time. Your real-world experiences provide valuable information for everyone in this community. While you're waiting for your application to process, stay organized with your documentation, respond promptly to any requests, and remain patient but persistent. These processing improvements are real, they're measurable, and they represent genuine progress. Your immigration journey may be moving faster than you think. Thank you for watching. Stay informed about the developments that affect your case, and I'll see you in the next video with more essential immigration updates.